Hello, welcome back to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This one is a really exciting and just great battle that we had the other day. Unfortunately, I lost my voice for a few days afterwards, so it's taken me a little bit of time, and I'm now one full game behind. This is a 1500 point battle, Wood Elves versus Warriors of Chaos, and we're playing Blood and Glory. So the same army that I played against last time. This Jeffrey's new Warriors of Chaos. You'll see more models are painted. Really coming along well. Really exciting. On his right flank there, he had 5 knights. Then he's got his big unit of warriors with his BSB in general in there. They're the only 2 non-painted models. Then he has 5 Marauder horsemen, 20, I think 20 Marauders, and then 5 hounds, and then a hell cannon. Way over tucked in the corner. You'll see the cards next to all the terrain. They don't really come into play. And, I'm really worried about the hell cannon. Jeffrey's really excited about it, obviously. There it is, tucked away in the corner, fighting against offset by my 5 little scouts there. We'll see how they can fare against the hell cannon. And we set it up. We played a slightly shorter board. Teaching Jeffrey, I didn't want to make it too spread out and just run around circles with my Wood Elves, but make it a little bit more compact. We went by the whole rule scenario, started through, etc., etc. So here's my list from my left to right. I have a lone altar kindred running around with Bow of Lauren and Arcane Bodkin, so he gets 5 attacks ranged with no armor saves allowed. I knew he'd be taking knights. What warrior army would not have knights? I have some archers and some treekin. Then here I have my BSB and my unit of war dancers. My little honor guard here, I have 2 units of 12 dryads, one of which has a branch wraith in it, and then 2 eagles, and then also in the middle I had a unit of 5 glade riders. And basically, I took kind of a fun list. I wanted a little bit of heavy hitting stuff. I wanted not just an all shooting list. I wanted to do something other than tree men, mix it up and have fun with it, but still be really mobile. My plan here is I set up a little bit towards the middle. I'm going to then move everybody around to my right flank, hopefully get out and around him. Here is my right flank. You can see my little forest is right in front. And my scouts, again, are tucked way over on the far right flank. They're just going to see what they can do to tie up the hell cannon, distract, whatever. Here are the knights looking pretty mean. And especially painted, I just have to make sure they don't get in contact with me, because if unpainted, they would hurt me. Painted, they're just going to be just vicious. But they look fantastic, so really hats off to Jeffrey. Keep it up, man. There are his warriors, also looking pretty great. I just do love that banner. It's so sweet, and once that Sorcerer Lord's painted, it's going to be rad. And anyhow, it's leading up to be a fun game. So, over on my right flank, I set out the challenge. You can see my little Glade Scout on the right, shaking his fist and taunting the Hell Cannon, and we're going to get into it. So we both Vanguard up. I take my Glade Riders, shuffle them straight over. I only have 1 unit of Glade Guard, sorry about that. And then he also brings his Chaos Marauder Horseman over as well. So it seems to me like we talk about strategy later on in the game, and I'll get to his strategy, but he's got his chaff units coming over against mine. He's got his hell cannon in the back, and his big units are coming down. So I'm just going to sit there, try to get up, shoot away his units, and then fade away from in front of him, bring my other units around, take out all of his chaff, and then I should be able to control the board just by position and maneuvering. Sure enough, he moves right forward. Especially with the Chaos Warriors, he keeps his knights back a little bit so that I can't shoot everything out there without risking my Glade Guard, which is my big unit with my general and one of my banners. He has 5 fortitude and I have 4, so I've got to be a little bit more cautious here. He then brings his Marauder Horseman even further up and moves his hounds over in front of my scouts. So basically, he's kind of got me thinking about what I need to do. He's keeps his Marauders back a little bit, and so I can't really get at any of these guys too too cleanly, too clearly without opening myself up on for flank charges, for counter charges, etc., etc. But I let him go first. I want to see what he does before I start shooting at him. I didn't want to waste a round of shooting from a distance. It's just another perspective of how things look. You notice my Dryads on the right there. They're set up in ranks of 5. I did that just because they fit on that board that way, and I wanted to have them on a movement tray. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking. He shoots me with a fireball, I believe, or he drops a rock, hits my eagle, does a wound on the eagle, takes out 3 Dryads. No big deal. So my turn 1, I turn and countercharge him. Let's see. I charge the Dryads at the Marauder Horseman. First my eagle, then my Dryads. He flees from the Dryads, and we discussed this all, how it all works, and he's way over here. He hits his Marauders who bounces from the other side, but I kid you not, I roll a 22 from there with my eagle, and I reach just barely his Marauders, and so that's Jeffrey taking his Marauders off because my eagle goes flying all over everything and lands where you see it, having 1 combat. Of course, the Dryads fail their charge, but that's okay with me. They end up right in that forest. I'm happy. I move my Glade Riders out of range of the Marauders, and so I can shoot everything at the hounds, and then I move up just so I'm in 15 inches, can shoot at the warriors, take out 1 or 2, as you can see here, or maybe not at all. I think I just take out 1 this round, and then split off with my Alter Kindred, get him so I can't be charged by everybody. Here's just another perspective of me being on both sides of the hounds. I'm going to be able to shoot at him, focus the hounds down. Not too worried. I can always stand and shoot, and just things are looking pretty good over there. Again, another perspective. This does show how I pulled the scouts back just a little bit so that they're at maximum 15 inches. Thinking myself really smart. I only have a level 2 caster, that was my big concession here. It's a level 2 caster as my general, spell singer over there, and so all I can do is take Lore of Athel Loren, and I have tree singing, which I can never cast because I'm always partially in the trees throughout this whole game pretty much, and he's never in them, so I don't need to do him any wounds. And I have the regeneration spell, so I do get that off this round, and I'm feeling pretty okay. If he does make some crazy charge and get into me, at least I'll have a chance of surviving. I think I killed 2 warriors, you can see here. Apparently Jeffrey was focusing on his pizza, not paying attention, and my altar kills off 2 of the knights. And they have a really long charge. I'm okay with the setup. I don't need short range, so I'm sitting 18 inches away from his knights or more, maybe 19 inches. He does have +1 to movement though, which is pretty deadly. And at the end of my turn 1, you can see where things stand. You'll notice it's hard to see, but I have killed 1 or 2 warhounds. But I have a nice little concave here. I've got the bulk of my army moving over to the right, and I'm feeling pretty good about things. And here's this guy. So start of turn 2, he charges, I do a stand and shoot. I kill another knight. You can see them in the background. He's just great. Love that guy. I also stand and shoot against the hounds. I kill 1 and they fail their miserable leadership. Run right over in front of the Glade Riders. So that makes things pretty nice. That's now cleared up over here, as I expected they would be. He charges with his Chaos Warriors. Now, I thought long and hard, and he was just close enough that I decided to flee because he's going to be able to double charge with his knights. And so I flee, I think, from the knights. That's what it is. And then he redirects into the lone guy. my Alter Kindred. My Alter Kindred stands and shoots, and I do 1 wound. He then, oh, it's just brutal. He then casts a spell, gets it off miscast, so I'm thinking he just killed his own sorcerer. Does no wounds to himself. I think might have killed a couple warriors, and kills my BSB. And we're not even through the second half of round 2. So my BSB is down. So I'm down to 3 fortitude. And so all of a sudden, all my points are tied up in this Glade Guard unit that's fleeing. It's only 6 inches from the board and is no longer rerollable. So my turn 2, I charge his Marauders with my tree Dryads. I charge his Hounds with a couple guys. I can't remember why he fled that way, but he flees. He's now out of my line of sight, so this is going to be a failed charge, and I definitely am not going to redirect into the Hell Cannon. I do rally, which I'm excited about, and so just rally and turn to face his warriors, and then I move my War Dancers up out of the line of sight of his Warriors of Chaos. I then put my Eagle right in front of his Chaos Marauders. So if the Marauders have to charge, if they charge, they have to charge the Eagle. And at best, he doesn't want to overrun. You can see what it looks like here. What he's going to do is then turn to reform, and I'll get to send a whole mess of guys into this unit, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm thinking my Dryads alone will be able to handle them, and if I put in my War Dancers too, they will just put on an absolute beatdown, absolute clinic, and so I'm stoked about that. It's round 2. I'm really happy with the way this is playing out. My other smaller unit of Dryads, I move around back to come and get over and threaten the Hell Cannon. I'm then also going to just start shooting with my Scouts, and then eventually with my Glade Riders as well at the Hell Cannon. I then take off the last 2 Chaos Knights with the Alter Kindred, so I'm stoked. That might have been on his... No, that was my turn 2. And on his turn 3, he's now sitting there with no Knights, and that's 1 banner down, so now it's 3-4. I'm going to take this guy up, move him up as close as I can to the Chaos Warrior, and see what I can do. This here was just brutal. He, I think, miscast for the 2nd time, and on his rolls to wound himself, this is what he rolls. What's the story exactly? I don't know, but all of a sudden he's sitting there rolling, and just survives. So he only does 1 wound to himself, barely kills anybody, and everybody sticks around. So all of a sudden, he's now miscast twice and still stuck around. And then he turns and shoots with the Hell Cannon, direct hit, and kills 11 of my 13 Glade Guard. My poor little Spell Singer is out, sitting in the middle. She's going to be a prime target, and all of a sudden, all my shooting's gone. I can't damage this whittled down Warriors unit, and so all I have is this 1 banner and my General, and I have to keep the General alive, because if I lose the General, the game's over. If I lose the other guy, no big deal. So in combat, he clearly kills easily the Eagle, and then just turns to reforms to face both units so that I can't double charge. I can't flank and front charge him. So on my turn 3, I turn to face with everything I've got and turn around my War Dancers. So they're going to get a flank charge on the Warriors of Chaos. I move the Alter Kindred up. I think I marched, or maybe not. I get some shots off, so I think I kill a couple more warriors. And so all of a sudden this unit is just ripe for the picking. No matter what he does, he's just going to get absolutely hammered. I'm going to get so many attacks with however I charge in, whether he turns to face one unit or takes 2 flank charges, whatever. If nothing else, he's already wounded his BSB. He's already wounded his sorcerer. I'm going to focus him down. You know, I'm just ready to put on a world of hurt, and I'm thinking, all right, I've taken huge risks. They've really hurt my guys. I'm out of charge range. Probably won't be worried too much. I pull my caster out, put her over on the side, and what do you know? He drops a second rock in a row, direct shot, and kills her. Meanwhile, he's misfired once, only ate one of his own crew. I've killed one more, so he's got one left, but is still surviving, acting as normal. He's misfired 2 or 3 times and hasn't killed himself. And then it's just brutal, When I knew I had him just on lockdown, my poor spell singer, who has no buffs, no anything at all, just gets the rock dropped on her, absolutely dies, and that's the end of the game. Turn 4, I lose to Brand New Warriors of Chaos Army. Really awesome game. You can see how it plays out. He charges my Glade Guard off the table with its warriors, which I'm thinking I'm fine. I've got my Dryads in combat with some Marauders. I'm shooting down his Hell Cannon, and I'm going to double charge his warriors here in the middle, and that would bring me the game. And, you know, we played that last round just to see what happened. Sure enough, I killed plenty of them, and then I was able to run him down and take all the victory points. So, this game was just back and forth. There was awesome rolling, and there was terrible rolling, and it was so much fun, and all came down to this right at the end, and it just, you know, serves you a reminder that it's a game of chance, and, you know, you're never out of it. It looked like I was doing just fine, and you're never out of it until the end. So this is when we were able to sit and talk about strategy, and it turns out that Jeffrey's strategy was similar to mine, where he just would flood his left flank and try to take out my chaff and just focus down my one unit that mattered. And, you know, he got lucky with some of his casting. He was able to take out my BSB, and he took out my general. And, you know, it was a really solid strategy. I mean, I had to play my strategy by keeping my points there just to make sure that I could take out his units, and those are the units I had to take him out with, because I can't send anyone in against a Chaos Warrior unit. But, you know, it worked out for him in the end. You know, hats off. It was a really great game, and I really look forward to the next one. Hopefully we'll be building up the points value and just really pushing it. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.